new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
Wow, what a thick and girthy comic book collection.
If you think that's thick and girthy, you should check out my giant-sized man-thing. Number 1. You're listening to Darkseid's Couch. I'm Mike.
That's James.
I'm Shée.
All right.
I tell you why that bothers me is because I wanted to be the one to use the word girthy first. Because I had that because it's the funniest word. I love that word, and now it's been stolen from me.
The girthy first sounds like a Japanese rock band.
Did I ever tell you guys about when my brother came into the to the Zoom call to discuss how to handle my father's estate?
In like a Zoom
Hold on.
call.
Yeah, so when my dad passed away, we had to do a Zoom call with the estate attorney because we were all in different states. And my mom was helping us out. So we were in the Zoom call. Brandon is running late, my brother. And my brother logs in, is in the waiting room for a little bit, and then gets into the call. And this motherfucker's Zoom name is Girth Brooks.
Okay. Now, let me be clear about something. Let me clarify one thing. That is not his legal name.
Nope.
Okay.
That's perfectly appropriate.
Yeah. And the first thing I said was, God damn it.
I mean, you gotta. When do you need to laugh more? When do you need to laugh more?
then
Oh
and
no,
there.
my dad would have found it fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
We all it was this is a funny story.
Oh, yeah, base father.
Very, very based fathers. It's Halloween, just about, kind of, sorta, almost, right? It's the perfect time to unsheath your giant-sized man thing.
Yeah.
The only time. The
Whip it out.
You're allowed.
It's the only time you're allowed to do it, and you won't get slapped. This actually came to us from Hermer Firmer. Thank you, Hermer Firmer. Happy birthday, Hermer Firmer.
Yes.
Happy birthday. It's been sitting on the wheel for a while, and it never came up. But we decided to.
We shook it around a little bit, let some blood into it, and then it came up just fine.
It was doing just fine after that. And we have some weird program I don't fully understand that lets you pick a birthday comic, right? And so we looked at Born Too Late's Animal Man issue last time, which was great. And I think we actually did it. I think we had a Halloween, October spooktacular month of just good books. Who fucking knew? Who would have suspected?
We did it.
They're all good. They're all good, though.
We've never read a bad comic book. That's true.
Every book is great.
They've all been very.
I don't know.
Great.
What's a bad one?
Dude, Mantech Robot Warriors.
For real?
That was at least fun.
we
What
read
was
a
like
lo-
not fun and bad at the same time?
Miss America. Yeah.
Miss America was fun for a totally different reason.
I don't know about fun.
No.
I mean, you're not going to remember the ones that weren't fun.
I guess
Yeah.
that's true.
So, there's 272 of these motherfuckers. We were soaring high with Animal Man. Now we've crashed into the swamp with the giant-sized man thing.
I've said it to myself.
Yep.
I've read the comic. I don't know why I still find that like childishly funny.
It came out in 1974. It's been 50 big years of this book and people making jokes about it.
Dude,
And-
it's the giant-sized man thing, and on the cover it even says, "The Glob strikes again."
The Glob has returned. Your fan favorite, the Glob.
That's right. Those two things go together perfectly. You got your giant-sized man thing, and then, you move it around quite a bit until you get yourself a big old glob.
Sometimes it gets kind of globby. It's 68 big pages. I was a little disappointed to find out that only one of the pages, or one of the stories, the man thing story is a original. All the rest are reprints, which is a little bit of a
They were
bummer.
all brilliant. I love them all.
They were okay. They were okay.
They were some choices.
Some good ones.
Yeah. I mean,
A lot of Stan Lee, Jack Kirby joints.
well, this was the time. Like 1974, this would have been actually 1974. Kirby had already left, and he was at DC doing the
Pissed
Fourth
off,
World.
drinking and smoking.
Yeah. Doing the Fourth World, although I think the Fourth World was winding down by about 74. But Kirby was still signing his name to everything. Stan Lee was still signing his name to everything. But the backup books definitely date back to that collaborative time, which we'll see as we get in there. We got, I think, four big stories, or we got 5 big stories?
Probably
I think we got
5.
4.
Four, but they're broken up. But
they're
2 or
broken
3
up.
are broken up into parts.
2 of them are broken up into chapters. So we can get into this. This is Giant Size Man Thing, issue number 1 from 1974. The first story that we're going to get into, written by Steve Gerber, art by Mike Plug and Frank Chiaramonte, and he knew what he was doing. We've looked at a bunch of Steve Gerber comics. He knew exactly what he was doing.
We always suspected that he was being naughty, and we were like, nah,
He
maybe
knows.
it was. This one leaves no doubt at all. There's some some sexy. They made Man-Thing sexy.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
We'll get to it. There'll be some panels where I'm like, are we supposed to want to fuck Man-Thing?
They did put the word orgy in here.
I know.
They use a lot of
think-
great words.
Maybe a couple of my pages were stuck together because I don't remember any sexy Man-Thing pages.
This comic
Yeah.
used the best words.
It had all the best words. We put them all in there. It ran for 5 big issues, by the way.
All right. 5
But-
giant-sized issues.
Fine. Compared to the length of a normal run, that's equivalent of like 26 issues long.
Big
That's a very-
pages, giant-sized glob.
Yep. And it's not just a long run. It's actually a thick run too, which is really where you
Would you,
see
say a
results.
girthy run?
Yeah. Do people understand Man-Thing? Do we know about Man-Thing?
He's Swamp Thing, but with less of a face.
Less of a face. He does predate Swamp Thing by about 1.5 years, in fairness.
He's
but I
less human than Swamp Thing.
Or more human.
That's a good question, because Swamp Thing in his earliest incarnation was just a dude who was transformed, but then Alan Moore retconned that to say that he was never alive. He was just a mass of plants that believed it used to be a person.
Yeah, because if it used his human body parts, right, to form its new body, his brain is going to still have all that stuff in it, and the plant thing's just going to think it's him.
On the cover here, the glob is grabbing Man-Thing's penis nose.
His penis nose and making it come.
Yeah, making it a gush. That is kind of the main identifying feature of Man-Thing, is that he's got a big snorkel penis for a nose that really differentiates him from Swamp Thing. But this was in the 70s when like swamp monsters were a thing, so I don't know that it was necessarily a ripoff. So I don't know. Who knows?
I showed panels from this comic to my friend Alex, and she was saying that Man-Thing was cute.
He's cute, yes. And if you saw him in the Werewolf by Night special a couple years ago, he was kind of adorable and likable in that.
I liked that. Why did they never followed up with that? I thought it was going to be like a series or something.
Because they're not supposed to be making 1,000. Disney is pledged to not make 1,000 MCU projects, even though they seem to be continuing to do that.
Yeah,
the
but that
pledge
was
is
the
they're gonna
good
pull
one.
back a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't know. They also made a Man-Thing. It wasn't an MCU movie, but like 20 years ago, they made a Man-Thing movie. It was apparently god awful.
Yeah, I think that it was more like the jungle comes alive and attacks people.
Yeah, this is back in the day.
I think it was a Sci-Fi Channel exclusive or something, or it was so bad they just designated it to that.
Yeah, it was like a direct-to-DVD or something stupid. All right. Well, this first story is broken up into 3 chapters, puts the spotlight squarely on our Man-Thing, which is something you can't even do anymore nowadays, by the way.
Well,
Keep the spotlight off that.
depends on the company.
This is chapter 1 is called "How Will We Keep Warm When the Last Flame Dies."
Yeah, I want to bring up that the artwork is good.
The artwork is good. This is what's his name, Mike Plug. I don't recognize the inker's name, Frank Chiaramonte, but Mike Plug is he knows what's up.
So in this splash page, we got Man-Thing rising from the swamps, and a bullfrog looks at us, the comic reader, like, "Check, please."
Oh boy! And he pulls his collar.
Yeah,
up his
pulls his
frog shirt.
his amphibian skin collar.
Yeah. Yeesh.
Bad name.
And we hear about all of the various horrible things and the feelings inside Man-Thing.
So I relate to Man-Thing, especially in this beginning part where he says that
supposed to.
he cannot penetrate the fog of confusion that enshrouds his own mind. That's what it's like to have ADD.
Okay, that's fair. And he can't really understand other people. Well, this is what it's like to have
it's like you.
autism. He
Fair, James,
understands.
it's like you.
He understands that other people have emotions. He understands how to react to them, kind of, but he just can't seem to break through. Yeah.
Look at us, James. We're Man-Thing.
Shée, how do you relate to Man-Thing?
I'm going to watch from the sideline until shit goes haywire, and then I'm going to come in and try to hit everyone and everything.
All right, that's a
Cry a
sound
little
stretch.
bit.
I thought you were going to say that you also have a penis snorkel nose.
No,
You know
my
what?
nose is big. My nose is big, but not that big.
Your
I
nose
think
is not
we could have a contest of who has the bigger nose. Mine's so broken I can barely breathe out of it.
Well, you also got to keep in mind scale, because Shée is 3'2". She's a tiny little thing.
I am not. I am average height for a woman.
You're my little Christmas elf.
Yeah, put you in the palm of my hand and spin you around.
What's the average height for a man? 5'10"?
6'5".
Yeah, it's going up. Like, you gotta, for a man who's gonna procreate, it's at least 6'1".
Fucking NBA basketball players ruining the average with their super children.
Breeding out those short kings.
Where are the Kevin Harts of the world? Why are they making the short men? So
we got the one.
You just can't see them.
We have,
They should have
Kevin
down there
Hart
somewhere.
Kevin Hart for Wolverine.
Because they're too short. Get it?
They are too short.
How about that, huh? How about
Kevin Hart for Wolverine?
Yeah, Kevin Hart plays Wolverine in the MCU. How pissed off would everybody get?
I'm all for that. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm for
I
it
just
too.
don't like, as much as I like Hugh Jackman, but come on, man. This has got to stop. This has got to end.
Apparently, he's going to do it for as long as Disney wants him to do it.
That's the rumor, and it kind of feels that way. It kind of seems like it's going that way.
If he's having a good time, I don't want to spoil on his... I haven't seen the movie yet. I heard it's great.
Well, but he's an old man.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Unless he's going to play old man Logan in all these movies. It's just,
he already did.
Yeah, but not at all. And now he's going to be what, the main X-Man Wolverine, the main X-Men. Like, you can't go back to looking
I
young
haven't
again.
seen the movie. Maybe it explains all this. Who knows?
You can't keep on. Like, let him go. Like, thank you for your service. Here are your flowers. Let somebody else have a try. God damn.
Who cares?
All right. So
let
anyway,
him play Man Thing.
I wonder
Sure.
if at this point they've looked at like the box office numbers and have realized how much Hugh Jackman's Wolverine brings in. Yeah. And so they're just going to milk it.
I think people would have saw that movie no matter who they picked, though.
I also think if you really want to have the most lascivious title, you team up Hugh Jackman and Man Thing.
And it'll be it'll be huge, giant-sized Man Thing.
Sure. No, they're gonna. MCU's been kind of hurting a little bit, so yeah, they're gonna take
all the way to the bank
with their one hit that they had this year. Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Not when you just lost $300 million on your last movie.
But I think it made like $1 billion though.
It made a shitload of money, but it can't prop up a mega franchise forever. So we'll see.
All right, well,
we'll see what happens.
So so Man Thing's walking around in his fog of confusion because he has ADD, and he comes across these guys standing in the road, and then this truck has to stop to avoid hitting them, and they're just some weirdos who are standing around waiting for a truck to come by.
Right. Well, they've been in fairness, these are the entropists.
And incels.
I was thinking they were just experimental art rock band The Residents.
No.
That's
these motherfuckers didn't get laid to the point it drove them crazy.
Yeah, so these guys are a cult that worships the concept of entropy. All right?
Because those bitches don't like nice guys.
Those bitches don't like nice guys, and it's going to cause the heat death of the universe.
Look, and they're bald, too. They're so fucking bitter about their...
and he's their leader.
Is this considered nihilism? Nihilism?
Yeah.
Is it ni or nai?
Nigh.
I've heard it both ways. I don't know. As a non-German,
James likes it both ways.
All right, Sean Spencer.
I do like it both
Sean
ways.
Spencer.
There are great concepts on both sides. There are great philosophical concepts on both sides.
I don't know who Sean Spencer is.
No, it's not. I don't think it's the same, because nihilism is basically the idea that nothing has any meaning, and whereas entropy is the very real thermodynamic principle that we will run out of heat/energy, and the world will. It's the second principle of thermodynamics.
So it's like, but that's how the world is, though. No matter what, these guys really don't need to do anything.
Well, they are upset that humans are perpetuating the idea that negentropy, I believe is the term, is possible. That you can actually reverse it, which science says you can't reverse it. But I think they're upset that certain humans are trying to create this idea that maybe you can push back against it. And they're saying, no, you can't push back against it. Don't give people false hope. But who cares?
And since they weren't having sex, they decided, you know what? Monk robes.
Yeah. So they got nice red monk robes.
We don't know if they're nice.
I mean, they're probably fairly high quality. We find out that this cult is led by a professor, by the way. So got the professor.
But this is not who we see right now. We see just his cultist. But the head cultist looks like, for a reference, on Gravity Falls, there's an episode where they have a cult. And he looks like that guy.
I've been waiting to watch that show. I hear it's really good.
It's a very
so
good show.
good.
It's a very cute show.
I'll watch it this winter.
It's the one
Lots
that
of,
they have the ray gun, and they make people.
Oh, I thought you were trying to explain it to Mike by saying it's the show with the ray gun in it.
No, I was trying to.
Not to be confused with the show with the Reagan in it, which was
don't confuse me, guys. I have a fog of confusion.
Bedtime for Bonzo. Bedtime for Bonzo is the.
That's not a TV
Right.
show.
Remember
With
when
Reagan in it.
Reagan had that zoo burned down to kill Bonzo?
Yeah, he hated that monkey so much.
Well,
I
he
do-
was
do hate that
pro-union.
thing.
Oh yeah, he tried to create a Screen Actors Guild for chimps, and
Yep.
fucking Reagan had him burned to death.
That chimp was a union busting chimp.
Nobody
Prove
knows
me
what
wrong.
we're talking about.
Prove me wrong.
And this is so far back in the podcast.
Just
Prove me
asking
wrong.
questions.
Why aren't we allowed to ask questions?
Right, just asking questions about what happened to that monkey. What happened to that chimp? Why'd he get killed? I don't know. Maybe it was Jimmy Hoffaing it. We don't
Yeah,
know.
he knew too much.
Yeah, he knew too much.
He had enough signatures.
The chimp who knew too much.
Yep. that's the re-release title of that. All right. I had a Reagan reference in the spookiest president of all, Ronald Reagan. Got him referenced for Halloween.
I don't know, Joe Biden. He's the spookiest president. He looks like a
nowadays
corpse.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, God bless Jimmy Carter for making it past 100, but
He still looks better than Joe Biden. Joe Biden just like his skin.
No,
he's
you're
had
right. Never mind.
Joe Biden had so many facelifts. He looks insane.
Yeah, he does look a little kooky. He's a nuts looking dude.
he looks like the Fire
Right?
Marshal Bill.
Yes. Oh
He does
my
have a little Fire Marshal
god.
Bill in him. He doesn't want to show you something.
And he had them old school hair plugs when they really didn't know
That are
what
just
they were
like
doing.
tubes. That are
He's
just like
had, but he's
plastic
been
tubes.
kind of bald his entire fucking
He was
career.
like super bald, and then he got a hair plugs and thought no one would
Super
notice, and they just it's not good. Hair plugs in general tend to not look very good, but like his are really bad.
Well, I do have to wonder, honestly, had he not gotten the weird hair plugs, would he never have gotten to be president?
No,
I think it's entirely possible we wouldn't have elected a balding president.
no, absolutely not. That's why Trump does that hairdo.
Yeah. Dude, he has to keep making it take up more. He has to keep trying to make it spread out flatter so it covers more territory.
Every year.
Every
yeah,
year, it just
hair
gets
implies
thinner.
virility
That's true.
It does.
Oh my God, I don't have any.
in the
virility,
most
guys.
feral nature, like
Maybe
part
that's
of
why.
nature.
That's why some guys shave their heads and grow their beards really big.
Yeah,
Well, they say that you can look strong with hair and you can look strong totally bald, but it's when you're balding that you look weak.
Yeah, you look
You have to
sick.
go completely. You got to Paul Schaefer and go the whole way down. Get rid
Like
of all
you're
of it.
constantly being bit by a spider.
Yep. All right. So the Entropists, they have accosted these two hippies who are driving a truck that says Omega Environmental Systems on it. We'll find out what that's about
we
shortly.
learn about those
We're
super
learning all
based
about that.
people.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting guys. And so they start getting into a philosophical fight about entropy here.
Yeah, with these lunatic homeless people
Like-
that are stopped. They're just in the middle of the road.
They're arguing with cultists. Just run them over. What are you
This is what
doing?
I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, right? Did they? So did they pull over because they knew these guys, or
No.
were these? So these entropists just like waiting for any old motherfucker to
Well,
just
no.
bother?
I'm sure they knew what these guys were up to and they knew where they were going to go. As we'll see, this was
How?
because it was probably announced in the fucking newspaper.
Nah, I don't think so.
Somebody posted on X.
they eventually show that the professor they work with knows the old guy professor that
guess
that the good side has,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
so maybe like he heard of the plan already or has a connection.
Why is it so hard to believe that there was a story in the newspaper?
I think it was more like that they just wanted to show their cool golden brain to somebody.
So this is notable. They have brought a box with them, the Entropists, and they open up the box, and inside is a brain in a globe. And I do want to make note of the fact that this is a Darkseid's Couch trope. We've seen a lot of exposed brains.
Yes.
Yes.
And I went back and I got a list of them. This is maybe a complete list. I don't know. We got the brain from Doom Patrol that we saw in episode 79. We got the brain from Teen Titans Spotlight. People probably don't remember that one.
Oh, I don't.
The Brain Emperor from the Mighty Crusaders.
I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah. Dr. Bad Vibes from Cops. Remember Cops?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That I remember, yeah.
We had Kane from Kane #1. Remember, he had a red hat and he had a red like MAGA hat and a robot brain, and you could see his robot brain inside his skull.
I have no memory of that guy.
There was you don't remember Kane, who was clearly just Cable?
No.
You don't remember? He was Cable. He had the same font as Cable. He came out at the same time as Cable, and it was
I'm
just
sure
like
I thought so at the time, for sure.
Yes, you did. There was also Mother Brain from Captain N, the Nintendo Warrior, the Nintendo Master. I always call it Warrior. I don't even remember the Waystors in Star Wars.
I mean, maybe Krang.
Krang, although we haven't seen, have we seen Krang? I don't know if we've actually seen Krang in our
maybe.
Turtles episodes. And Brainy Ape from the Savage Dragon. We saw that.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got this guy. We got a lot of exposed brains.
The Golden Brain. This guy's and the Golden. And we get a whole backstory about the Golden Brain's life.
Yeah, if you're worried that you didn't hear enough about how the Golden Brain came to be, just sit tight, okay?
Dude.
We're going to get there. So they use this Golden Brain to summon it looks like a monk monster. It looks like Man-Thing, except he's made of electricity. He's made of electrical charges.
He's made of fucking spaghetti.
Like how? Okay, so like how would this? They don't tell you how this random brain can do this.
Well, in fairness, we do find out that this is a Hulk vision of villain, basically an Incredible Hulk villain of sorts, and so maybe we got a better explanation there. Maybe.
Well, it seems like the brain can create like electric bodies, right?
Yeah.
But these guys see it as the brain can summon demons.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe they don't understand how it works.
No, they're a bunch of idiots, a bunch of nerds that think they're
entropists,
wizards.
yeah.
They've gone insane because
Yeah,
of
they're not the
swirlies.
professor.
So they create this muck monster made out of electricity because Man-Thing has randomly showed up. Mm-hmm. Why? I don't know.
I guess because he can feel the intense emotions of the people inside the swamp, and he just goes and checks it out.
He's like a super empath.
Yeah, they also say in the beginning of the book that he cannot comprehend words or thoughts.
Yeah,
But feeling.
Yeah, feeling. He's
Yeah,
all
like a
about
dog.
feeling, guys. He's like a Gen Zer, no thoughts and words with lots of feelings.
Yeah.
I'm just
Facts
picking
don't care about
fights.
Man-Thing's feelings.
I'm just picking fights, guys. I don't really have those feelings. I don't care about Gen Z.
You remember
people.
feelings?
I try
Really
not
wanna have
to.
feelings. Really want to have feelings again. Anyway, so Man-Thing shows up to do battle. I don't really know what I guess they were going to sick their electrical monster on the hippies that were driving this truck. I don't know, but we never find out because he gets in a fight with Man-Thing instead. Mm-hmm. So Man-Thing does a comical like bonk on the head, like a Three Stooges thing. That's pretty
And
good.
That's exactly what I thought of when I saw that.
A little bonk.
And the electric monster cuts Man-Thing in half, killing him.
So yeah, Man-Thing. So Swamp Thing can get like ripped apart and just pull himself back together. I don't know that Man-Thing can. Like he might be. This is his body, and this is all he's got. I don't know.
This is when I said, are we supposed to want to fuck Man-Thing here when he's laying in the water with his arms behind his head?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like we're not supposed to fuck Man-Thing now?
That's from the calendar shoot.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's exactly what that looks like.
He's Mr. August right there.
And then he penetrates the monster.
He does rip out. I did notice that Man-Thing does have like human musculature, which I didn't find sexy so much as just odd. That he's got like triceps.
Looks
Weird.
sexy to me.
But he rips a small tree out, and he just impales the electrical monster with this, and this just breaks up his electron flow, and he just explodes.
He penetrates the monster, and the monster comes.
He does. It does. You know what? That panel by itself, you can see on YouTube or Spotify. That panel by itself, yeah. That is a sploogey panel.
Yeah, dude. He busts.
All right. So this understandably upsets the entropists. And the golden brain leaps out of its jar and just tumbles down a cliff into the swamp.
I think it was like an energy feedback from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does say chain reaction feedback. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So now the brain is finally free, and it just walks around.
Yeah, it will
kind of
bounce. What it does is it bounces into the water of the swamp, right? And the guy's like, "We have to retrieve it." And the guys are like, "It's in quicksand. There's no way to save it." It's like, "Motherfucker, jump in and grab it, and have your guys pull you out."
Also, it does not look like quicksand in the slightest.
Look how they
it's
just
clear
give
as
up.
water.
These guys just give up immediately.
Well, they're entropists.
Like here they have the most powerful weapon they'll ever have in their lives. This
Yeah.
crazy brain that can manifest physical bodies and attack man things in the swamp.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, "Duh, there's no way for you to get it." It's like I thought they'd be like,
yeah,
would
you
they
got a net?
at least sacrifice themselves to get it? They're entropists.
Well, we see that they don't. I think at their hearts they don't really believe in this.
Bunch of nerds. Oh yeah, there you go. Bunch of incelly nerds. They don't really believe this.
I
They're
think
just
that's-
trying to meet girls.
Dude.
Well, no, I think this is. I
Don't
think
be
that's-
bald and ugly.
The commentary we're getting here is that people who subscribe to various cults of one or another. By the way, make sure you're registered to vote. If you subscribe to a cult, deep down inside, maybe you know that it's bullshit.
Yeah,
and
of course.
you need something to kind of rattle you out of that.
It seems like that's what happens. Like when you're in high school, you realize your religion you were raised with is kind of BS, and then when you're in your 30s or 40s, you realize that your entire political system is bullshit.
Well, I mean, I think you just gotta decide, like, you know what? Maybe I'm in too deep, and I should just stick with it.
I wonder what.
Versus-
I wonder, like a marriage.
Yeah, versus pushing back. You know, you gotta make a decision.
Yeah. She'll take the
Also-
house.
I don't think quicksand really works the way cartoons and comic books have led us to believe.
Now there
It's
was
just
a
kinda-
MythBusters about it.
It's just kind of sticky or something. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
You can get that brain out of there.
It's sticky because Man Thing was there.
Yeah, that ain't quicksand.
So here, like the cultists, like they grieve because they lost they could have just reached into the water and grabbed it. Like they still
But
can get
also,
it.
Why are they This is another thing. Is I think it's making a joke about the hypocrisy of these cults because they pretend like they can't believe in anything. Everything's going to die. Anything. Nothing is worth anything. But they have a lot of rituals and they grieve and they do a lot of normal human things.
I think they're just mad that they're going to get yelled at by their boss,
Well, why would they care if they're just going to be dust anyway?
right?
And
That's
the boss
where I'm
even
at.
calls them out on that in a second. Anyway.
Well, Man Thing, like he said, because he doesn't understand what's going on ever, he just feels the sadness of the cult, and he just goes and hangs out with them and feels sad with them.
I feel sad too, guys.
Like, hey guys, I'm real sorry about how all that went down.
That was kind of my fault. I'm sorry.
It was none of my business.
I just had to protect this swamp. I felt like I had to do that. I don't know. I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, guys.
He just beats himself up a lot.
You guys gonna be okay?
I'm so stupid.
Don't say that, Man Thing.
I don't deserve friends.
Jesus, it's becoming Philip Seymour Hoffman and Boogie Nights.
I've heard that actually. I've actually heard that from men, and because I heard that, I became their friends.
Oh, they got you. They tricked you. They got you with their cult.
It doesn't matter. It's just like, all right. Someone tells me they don't have any friends. I'm like, well, I'm gonna now make it a point to be your friend.
Out of spite, just so you can't say that anymore, you little bitch.
I don't know. Everyone deserves friends.
I'd say most people.
Most people.
There's a few people that shouldn't have any friends. There's
I
people
don't
agreeing
know.
with those people.
I don't know. Hey, if you're like don't deserve friends, the only friend you should seek out is Jesus.
Well, yeah. You know, that motherfucker has a lot of friends.
Yeah, that's right, dude. He's the
Like-
most popular guy on Facebook.
If I had like 1,000 people come to me and say they all want to be my friend, I'd be like, whoa, dude, the card is full. Jesus? Nope, I'll take them all.
Wanna know why you know why he does? Because he doesn't have a job.
Yeah, he's got enough hours in the day
He's
to check in
got
on
time.
everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, the hippies get in their van, their truck, and they start driving away to what they're gonna do, which we'll find out about soon. And that is how the
What if
first chapter ends.
what if while all this was happening, the hippie guys were just like, so do we get to leave? Like, are we
Yeah,
free to go?
we don't really see how they. You'd think they would be astounded at what they just saw,
They just
but
hear
instead
the-
they're just like, dude, let's go.
They hear the cultists in the swamp just weeping loudly. It's their wailing. You know, they're
Yeah.
wailing in sadness. They're like, let's just leave.
Fuck out of here. Yeah, it didn't turn out too much of a threat. They didn't actually have a weapon other than the brain.
Yeah, dude, they're nerds. Yeah, get a gun. A gun would have been way more effective in getting
Well,
these
we'll
guys to do what they
see.
wanted.
Yes. So now we get into chapter 2. It's called This Mind, This Universe.
Yeah, it turns out the golden brain has had a very interesting life.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
So here, he was a young man named Joe Timms,
Tim's.
and he was a petty criminal. And then he goes to jail.
He went to jail for reasons we don't know. It looks like he killed somebody. Mm-hmm. He's got running away with a knife while we see a corpse in the background. So I guess that's what happened.
So the knife is like his body and the knife are in front of a window, and the window being there, it made it look more like he had a spatula.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, you know, art was very different in 1974. So Joe Timms goes to jail. He finds out about some woman that he cares about is going to die or something. So he breaks out of jail, but he ends up dying in a swamp. Mm-hmm. We don't really get. I know I kind of breezed over that, but that's really kind of all we get. We don't.
Yeah,
really
but we
know
do
what
get a
happened
beautiful page of the brain remembering.
Just
Like that's cool.
floating.
That's a cool like
Yeah.
like a cool like what do you call it, splash page.
there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful golden brain.
These guys know what they're doing.
On your birthday, sometimes you can ask for a golden brain. She'll
Ooh,
give it to
happy
you.
Hermer, you should ask for a golden
Yeah,
brain.
a golden brain for your birthday. So
That's what Hermer Firmer asked for.
yeah, and he got a giant sized
Nope,
man thing.
he asked for giant sized man things.
So somehow, and we don't really clarify how, but somehow that man, Joe Timms, was resurrected as a creature called the Glob, and he fought the Incredible Hulk a couple times, which is great because I'll take that hashtag. Hashtagging the Hulk on this.
And hashtag Incredible Hulk, hashtag Scarlett Johansson.
I did put Scarlett Johansson on a recent episode because we did mention her, and it didn't seem to really do anything.
They didn't do nothing.
Well,
They lied.
I'm including hashtag glob.
Yeah,
Glob.
try Glob. Maybe that's what we've been missing.
Searching for a glob-based podcast.
Yeah, that's
So-
what you do. Searching for a glob like in the casual encounters in the newspaper back in the day.
My favorite country western song.
What was it? Craigslist. You ever used
you
to
do
read
Craigslist,
those?
misconnections, yeah, and you could do.
Dude, I used to read casual encounters because they were like some of them were like crazy horny.
Yeah, it was a desperate thing, and that was like even before that. What you would have to do is you would go to an office and they'd film a video of you pitching yourself as a candidate.
Oh, yeah,
and then
video
other
dating.
people video dating. The other people would come in and watch videos of you pitching yourself and try to figure out if you're worth spawning with.
What was that, Matt? Lower expectations. for
Lowered
Mad
expectations
TV.
on Mad TV. Yeah, dude, that was in our lifetime. Like that was going on while we were
your
roaming
lifetime.
the earth.
Shut the
Yeah, I was
fuck
around
up.
for you, Shée. Ain't that much younger. All right.
She's a little Christmas elf.
Yeah.
No, but it's because you guys, honestly, you have the early 80s and I don't have that. And the
We
early
do,
80s
but we
was
don't
different
remember.
than the late 80s.
It's a fog. I remember.
still
we don't
counts.
know. Like
I
I
don't
don't
remember
remember
his
the
elf.
90s.
I don't fucking remember the Berlin Wall, but I still get to say I was in Germany when it fell.
Oh, that was
it's
fake. That never
it's
happened.
your fault.
Yeah, that wasn't real.
Took down that wall.
There was never any wall.
Look at that. Now she's gonna build a wall.
They built up fake pieces of the wall so they could pretend like they took it down.
Oh, you know what? I bet that's a real theory.
Sure. Why not? We got 8 billion people in the world. Someone's going to believe it.
I know a few people though that grew up under in the Soviet Union.
Oh,
And-
crisis actors.
But you know what?
for
They're
sure.
lying.
Yeah, crisis actors for sure. They're paid for that.
Christ, just for me though, because I'm
just
getting too
for Mike.
close.
There's an issue of after Alan Moore left Miracle Man / Marvel Man, there is a run by Neil Gaiman, and one of the issues, it's really good. It's an issue we're following this paranoid dude who is confident that he's being followed throughout the city and everything like that. And then we come to find out at the end that this is an entire city for people who will believe that they are being followed by other people, and they need to live in that fantasy that like I'm a secret followed person fantasy. So they just put all of those people in the same city. So it's just a city of people that all believe that they're being targeted by one another. And it's to help this is what a utopia looks like, is that we've got a city of people that we put all those people there and they get what they need from each other.
Oh, they're busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not going to give Neil Gaiman money right now. So
Oh,
Yeah, I
hashtag
don't know
Neil
what's up.
Gaiman.
Yeah, he did something. Yeah, we can throw that in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not taking a side. That's just saying.
Here we see
discussed
the Hulk. What a piece of shit he is, because like a lot of people are gonna lose power because of this dude.
He's climbing up power lines. Well, the Hulk doesn't really know what he's doing in this.
And the Hulk
time.
kills the Glob.
I would not want to have to rely on the Hulk to be
Right.
my superhero because he's a moron.
And he's a moron. He's not a superhero though. He's the active terror.
Right. But he's shoehorned into the superhero world. He's an Avenger. He joined the Avengers.
No, he didn't. Fake news.
That was fake news. The Hulk, they faked all those pictures.
The
of
Hulk is
in
not.
the
I don't
Avengers.
think the Hulk. I don't think the Hulk
don't
could be an Avenger.
Did we need the Hulk in Avengers? But yeah, they have a fight. The Hulk and the Glob have a fight on this electric grid, and the Glob falls down.
And the
and he
Hulk threw him.
explodes.
He
The
kicked
Hulk
him in the
threw him.
face, and he fell. Like relax.
Jason
we
Todd
know what
situation.
he did.
Yeah, but the Glob explodes, and that's kind of the last thing he remembers. And then I think the next thing that he recalls is he just woke up as a brain in a jar.
Yeah. Why?
Well, we get a little of that filled in, but yeah, he kind of doesn't know what happened in all of this. It's weird. The Glob's backstory is told in bits and chunks, and so it's kind of tough to really piece it together.
But here he decides, I deserve a sexy body, and
Yes,
he
you
makes
do.
one.
Yes, you do. So yeah, he hops out of the water somehow. I'm not sure how he's able to create little legs out of his brain, but he does.
I think though, if he can create, like God, like he's basically God.
Well, I don't know if that's that. He made some dirt sentient, kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I don't know. That's what God does.
I guess. I'm not dirt. I'm
What is
made of
Adam made
divine
out
spirit.
of? Let's look that up.
What is
Like,
Adam
what-
made out of?
Yeah, God made Adam out of stuff. Like, what's
Well,
Adam
not
made
out of,
out
not
of?
out of clay.
I don't know. That's
what
Wonder
was
Woman, though.
Adam made of. According to the Bible, he was created from the dust of the ground.
Hey, I was right.
Okay. Which is funny because the entropists are all about returning to dust.
They don't know.
That's
That's
all
because
we're
they don't
gonna
have. They're entropists because they don't have a good Bible.
They don't have a good Bible, and they don't have rockin' abs.
You know where they'll give them a Bible? Prison.
Yeah. Where you can also get abs. There's nothing to do but lift weights. And so he creates a sexy body for himself. A ridiculously sexy body, I'll go ahead and say.
Doesn't look anything like Joe Tim.
He made like the idealized form that he wanted his body to be.
Big fat dick too.
Yep. This is
Thick and
this is what
girthy.
peak performance looks like. You may not
This
like
was
it.
the real giant-sized man thing.
He does have like a 70s male porn star aesthetic. He looks like he's from Boogie Nights.
He needs a mustache. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
you should
great.
do, James.
That's the only thing missing.
I was thinking that the
I-
other day. You should just have a mustache.
I have done it sometimes. Well, I'll get rid of the beard, just keep the mustache, and it doesn't work. And I gotta get
I'll
rid of
do
the
it when
mustache
I'm
immediately.
shaving, just for
Yeah.
funsies.
It doesn't work.
Nah, same.
It just isn't the same. Yeah.
I can't pull it off. I look like
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow a mustache.
Trying to grow a flavor saver turns out to be
Yeah.
a trash stash.
Yeah.
That's
I know
all
some
that
dudes
happens.
though with spectacular mustaches.
Yeah, there's a few of them. But you know what? They got nothing up top. They got no hair up top. All they
Nah,
got is
sometimes
the-
they do.
Oh well,
Sometimes.
that's the perfect guy. That's the perfect man. You marry that man.
That's a perfect man.
If he's at least 6'1", you spawn with that man.
What if that's what God made Adam? Adam had a thick mustache.
He had a thick mustache, a thick Italian mustache, thick head of hair, and he was 6'2.5".
Uh-huh.
He was
Perfect.
the perfect man.
Someone fucked it up.
Big girthy hog. Yep. And then he started fucking animals, and we all resulted from that.
And his sons murdered each other.
Yeah, wasn't that terrible? All that murdering they did.
Yeah, it was. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Cain. Not the Cain with the robot brain and the MAGA hat. The biblical Cain who invented the concept of murder.
Not the delicious chicken tenders Kane either.
No.
Or the WWF wrestler.
/ mayor.
/ mayor.
Or the utensil that Hulk Hogan uses to walk around with.
Oh, yeah.
A cane that he needs all the time. None of those canes.
You know, you're going to need one.
Because I'm tall?
You're tall and you run marathons. Like, sooner or later, that shit's going to break.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. It depends on
I'm
how you
gonna-
train.
Like, I'm going to take steroids, Mike. And I'm like, wait, you win.
I saw a shot of it was like a kid's essay thing, like a test, an exam, and the question was like, Marcus is in 2nd grade. He's the strongest kid in 2nd grade. He could lift 12 pounds. Now he can lift 97 pounds. How many more pounds can he lift now? And the kid wrote in, Marcus is on steroids. That's ridiculous. That's
Did he get
ridiculous.
half credit at least?
I'd give him full credit. You can go home early.
You go home early.
You
You're
could,
done.
that's
Yep.
intense.
You've learned all you can from school.
Go
You're
home
now
early.
funny.
Go home early and a little frog sticker that says, great job.
Aw.
I love the frog sticker. I live for that praise.
Dude. And then sometimes they were puffy. They had a little, oh boy. All right. So this
Well,
sexy dude.
Yeah, I guess like the transformation itself was so intense it wiped his memories again.
Yes. But the only thing he remembers is that you're not supposed to be nude.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. So he goes and finds some people to give him some pants.
He goes looking for pants. In the meantime, we head out to the fabulous palatial headquarters of the Entropists.
How the fuck do these losers
See,
even
here's
have this?
you say palatial. It looks like a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Or like a
impressive
compound,
words.
like a corporate headquarters.
Yeah, it looks like a pharmaceutical lab. It's
Yeah.
It's a giant lab. I don't know. I'm sure they're just renting some office space maybe in there. Maybe they don't own the whole thing. I don't know.
Dude, their leader, who calls himself Yagzan. Yagzan's a fucking loser.
No, Yagzan is fucking Nixon.
Yeah,
Look
he
at his
looks
face.
like-
I do think he is meant to look like Nixon. Nixon was out of office in 73 or 74, so this would have been like right after Nixon was gone. Yeah.
So he looks like Nixon. He's skinny fat, right? He's sitting on a throne. What a fucking nerd. And he's got a staff with a pretend skull on it that he probably got at fucking the
I got that at
Halloween
Hot Topic,
store.
yeah.
Whatever the
Halloween
fuck.
USA, yeah.
What is that? What's that one that pops up every year? Spirit
of
Halloween.
yeah.
Got that.
I will say I just noticed here. So these are entropists that they rant and rave about how man will return to dust and all this stuff. Their headquarters is in Miami.
Yeah, fuck these guys.
It's right on the coast.
Oh,
They wanna go to the
it's so what a meaningless life. How could you be so
We like the
skinny
sun, though.
fat in Miami?
Yeah.
Get in
Yeah.
shape, you gross bald men.
Yep. So President Nixon, the head of the guy, is like, I lost the golden brain. I'll have to kill you for that. And the guy starts complaining. He's like, no, don't. I'm not ready to go to turn into dust yet. And Nixon kind of catches on. He's like, well, why do you care? If you're really an entropist and you truly believe what we're doing, why do you care if you die now or later?
And the guy who looks up at him and goes, "Fuck."
Oh, I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite. And then a hatchet goes in his skull.
Yeah. Or
No, he
no,
cuts
it's
off his head.
Yeah, with a. Actually, it looks like he cuts it in two with a scimitar.
It looks like he cleaves him.
The guy
Yeah.
already had a white line painted on his head, so I guess he did a good job giving him the point to slash at.
He makes all the cultists put a white line in their head as just a little help in case he needs
Just-
to split them in two.
Just in case. And you know what? I think he does split his head in two because the sound effect is chalk.
Usually it's the giant-sized man thing that's
No.
splitting people in two.
We see later,
It's
and his
chalk.
head is on top of his body.
All right.
Could have held it back together.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that is okay. I'll give you that. They could have put it back together.
It's also less gruesome that way. It's more gruesome just splitting his head in two.
Yeah, there could have been a comic code authority issue or something like that.
Oh yeah, just a beheading over nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So man thing's poking around. Sadly, he doesn't have any friends. And he's gone to check in on what the hippies are doing back in the town now that they've got the truck in town. And they're unloading. They're setting something up. We don't know yet. And then the Golden Brain, who is now completely naked and apparently covered in tar and muck, he just shows up.
It's just convenient shadows to hide his penis.
Oh, okay. No, because he doesn't have such a giant-sized man thing, huh? That's too bad. And so they're like, all right, well, I guess we got to be nice to you because we're trying to do good things. We want good PR. So, yeah, why don't you hang out with us? We'll give you a robe to cover your shame. And, you know, you can just be part of our little community that we're building. Mm-hmm. And Man Thing cries because he wanted to be invited to be friends.
Yep, they can only pick one guy a day.
We can only have one friend. Come back tomorrow, Man Thing.
Only one weird guy.
Yes.
You
This
have
guy's plenty weird.
You have a cock hose on your face.
It's not the look we're going for right now.
Oh, look at his beautiful eyes, though.
He's got deep red eyes, sensuous
Dude.
eyes.
Isn't he cute? Shea is Man Thing cute.
I would say he's cute. He's not sexy, but he's cute. Come on, Shea. You like Bigfoots. You think Bigfoots are cute.
They're
Yeah,
my. No, I don't. No, I
Bigfoots have
don't.
matted
No.
shit in
They
their
are my.
fur.
The pin you got me of a Bigfoot is very cute,
Yeah.
but in
Beautiful.
general, no.
What about Man
No.
Thing, Shea?
No, they look a lot like monkeys.
What about Shea? What about Shea? What about Man Thing?
Wow, I got you several cryptids, several Sasquatches. Are they freaking you out?
No,
Man Thing is like a Cthulhu mixed with a Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's a cool design, you know? So then we get into the third chapter. It's called No Shortage of Evil. All right? And now we find out what those hippies were doing. They were coming to this town and they were building a sustainable village with solar-powered mini devices to generate energy and everything. And they have geodesic domes. And I'm trying to remember where I've heard that term before.
Whether igloo, hut, or lean-to, or a geodesic dome.
Ah, there it was, Apu.
Oh my god, I never knew what he was saying.
That's what it is. He was talking about these.
Oh, so this is a real place, by the way. This is in Florida. It was called the Venus Project.
Okay.
no, it was a movie called Biodome.
Oh, and there's a movie called Biodome.
Well, it was a documentary called Biodome about the actual village, yes.
Omegaville. That's sick. I'm gonna found a town called Omegaville.
Okay, so they've created this town about humanity's last stand, and they're trying to say we can live in a harmony with technology and humanity, and we don't have to disturb the environment. But they've chosen to call this Omegaville.
Yeah.
Which is like where Darkseid would live.
I know, but I was going to say it's like a very Jack Kirby name. But it just means it's the last village. It's the last town.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. We see that they are interested in the PR aspect of this, so maybe pick a friendlier name.
Omegaville, sick.
Life is Happyville.
Omega is, I don't know. It sounds badass, and that makes me happy.
It does, but they're not trying to look badass. They're trying to look like dirty hippies.
Dude, the best way to get their ideas through to people is to look badass.
All right, so as they're trying to open up Omegaville, we see this reporter, Richard Rory, with WNRV radio. And he comes to town. He's interviewing them. And Richard Rory something was striking me odd about this guy. And I figured it out in a few minutes, in a little bit later, but we'll get to that in a moment. And he's interviewing the hippies, and they're explaining that we don't need fossil fuels, we don't need any of that, we don't need corporations, we can live in an energy neutral environment, everything's going to be great. We'd love everybody to live here and come out here, everything's working great, right? And they talk a little bit about the cults that's accosted them, and we find out that an ex-colleague of one of the hippies is Yagzen, the guy who started this whole entropy, end of the universe, heat death of the universe cult.
And he's like, can you describe the professor to us? I go, he's skinny fat, he's bald, he's short, and no one wants to fuck him.
He looks like Richard fucking Nixon.
This guy sucks.
Yeah. And then they find out that, the dude, the brain that's now in this hunky body but doesn't remember anything, they've given him some clothes. They've called him Joe, and he's the first resident. He's basically Omegaville's Adam, and he just hangs out raking shit.
He's like, oh, okay, freedom, I guess.
All right, yeah. And so...
Sounds like a slave.
Well, they give him his own geodesic dome, so he's all right. And...
that's better than the rest of us. I don't even have my own geodesic dome.
You can't afford your own geodesic dome.
I could never afford a single geodesic dome.
Dude, you guys are telling me to vote, and I'm like, which president's going to give me my geodesic dome?
Yeah, I don't want you in no dome.
Dude, where's my dome at?
The most you can hope for is a yurt.
Bro, I'm going to vote for any president that domes me up.
That domes you up, yeah.
I got to get my dome on.
Yeah, you got to... Well, also, it looks like a boob. That's kind of fun.
Bro, I'm going to paint a nipple on it, and all my neighbors are going to be pissed, and I'm not going to care.
I guarantee you, if geodesic domes become a thing, you are going to see neighbors who paint them to look like boobs.
Well, I need to be the first person to do it, and I'm going to call it Titty House.
Yep, Titty Town. Come on down to Titty Town.
Yeah, all right, he should have called it Titty Town.
Come on down to Titty Town.
Yeah, because like all the domes are there, right? He's like, welcome to Titty Town.
Oh, man. We would have given you a lot more backing if we knew this is where you were taking this.
The reporter's like, oh.
Well, so Richard Rory.
How did they punish people in Titty Town?
Oh, no. How?
Well, you didn't.
This is a joke. I'm setting up a joke.
They're gonna get twisters.
No.
They get purple nurples.
No, the rack.
Oh, they put them on the rack. Pretty good. Having fun with that.
Thank you.
A good time.
Good.
So Richard Rory says, wow, this is fascinating. I'd like to live here. And they say, well, yeah, I mean, we could talk about that. And he goes, no, I would just screw everything up. And he leaves. Which, that was such a weird moment that I had to find out more about Richard Rory, because there's no way this was the end of his story. Turns out, I don't really know much about what happens to this character. He does show up a few more times. He does recur in the Marvel Universe. But Richard Rory is Steve Gerber inserting himself.
Oh.
That's what that is. Okay? And we actually, I can't remember if I read it myself or if I read it on the show, but there was a crossover story between a Marvel comic and a DC comic. God, I'm trying to remember what they were, that featured a bunch of comic book writers and illustrators. Len Wein was in there, and I believe Steve Gerber was with them, and they were traversing between the DC Marvel universe and this crossover. Does anybody remember this? Nobody remembers this. Mm-hmm. This is deep nerd lore shit. But anyway, that's why he looked familiar to me. He sounded weird. The fact that he just disappears, he talks about how much of a loser he is and then just leaves. I had to figure this out. So yeah, there's your Steve Gerber analog. All right.
All right.
Yep. Really hates himself. Early Gen Xer. So, then we see Man-Thing stumbling through the swamp, and he's still contemplating why nobody likes him.
Yeah, see, his head is on top of his body.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're
now
right.
we see that the dead Entropist. Yeah, they're having a burial ceremony for the dead Entropist, and they've put his body on like a stretcher, and they put the head on his chest, on his torso, but then they cover the whole thing with a blanket.
All right.
And they talk a lot about how they have no respect for it's just dried carrion, all this stuff. But then like they've got all these weird death rituals that they make sure to follow to the letter.
yeah. These guys they're kind of like the
Hypocrites.
opposite of the Omegaville people.
Yeah, I guess Omegaville is all about life and renewal and sunny, happy days, and the Entropists are all about doom and dust. And I've made my decision.
All
There's your
because they-
election. There's your election episode for you.
Dude, these are the people who vote.
The Entropists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is our next episode before or after the election?
I think it
It'll-
lands like the day before.
It'll drop the day before the election. Yes.
Man,
Okay.
that's tight.
So
That's
make your
tight.
pitches now. Everything's going to be changed by the time you hear this episode, of course.
Holy fuck, the election is less than a month away.
Yep.
Yep.
Make sure to vote, everybody. I'm not going to though, but you should.
Statistically
No, you
speaking,
should.
they're not going. Statistically speaking, they're not going to vote.
Fucking prove us wrong.
Dude, what if it's like less than 30%? Does that just make it like, all right, we need to have a new election because like nobody voted?
Yeah, if nobody shows up, we kind of
I
no.
think
It
if,
just
I think if less than 75% of the population votes, it should be done again.
I mean, would you support it being mandatory?
Like you, so
You have to vote.
Really, like a fine.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
yeah,
you have to vote.
Or Mike,
don't
do you just want to
know.
be that quarter that doesn't vote still?
Yeah, for sure. Well, if they have to redo it a lot, like after it takes up so much time, eventually they'd have to pick people that we want to actually vote for.
Well, I mean, this is why I'm in favor of something like ranked choice voting or something different. Like,
I don't
there's
understand how
a
that works.
Well, you basically would get, say, like, 6 points that you can allocate, and your first choice gets 3, and your second choice gets 2, and your third choice gets 1, and then whoever gets the most total points wins. So, you may not get your first choice, but at least you got your second choice, and it encourages more people to be involved in the system. It makes everybody a little less them versus us, and so a lot more people are like, that wasn't my person, but they're not the worst person. So there's maybe a little less vitriol, maybe.
I'm for that.
Just something so we can stop fucking strangling each other, please. God.
Do you have to use all of your votes, or can you just
don't
do
know.
3 and then be done?
I mean, it's not a set in stone thing. It's just it's a method. It's a mechanism that can be adjusted however people want to do it.
Well, I'm just thinking if they don't like a candidate, then why bother voting for them at all?
Well,
That's why I don't vote, Shée. You just described why I
no,
don't vote.
only in this scenario.
Well, what I'm saying, there might be 5 candidates. There might be 6 candidates. I don't know. I mean, this would be something that you would write your alderman about. I don't want to have to allocate all my votes. I don't know. This is all something to be, discussed and figured out and hashed out at some sort of convention that we have in the end times, in the ashes of what's left of our country.
And we will call it Omega Conference.
Nah, it's going to be called Titty Conference. Sorry.
Yeah, titty conference. All right,
TittyCon.
in entropy.
All right.
So they're having their weird nerd party because they're fucking nerds.
Yep.
And Man-Thing is watching them, and he's overcome with the emotion of what it's like to be a 35-year-old virgin.
I mean, isn't this like the most goth thing ever, though?
No, this is a bunch of grown men being nerds out in the swamp.
This isn't The Cure's Disintegration.
No, those guys are cool.
It's still pretty gothy, but it's not that goth. Yeah, it's pretty gothy. They throw the corpse in an open grave, and then they say, "We'll douse him with the liquid men prize above all." And you think he's throwing in alcohol, but it's really pee.
Yeah, he's peeing in it. They're all peeing in it. It's
just
the
gonna
thing we
pee on
all
this guy.
secretly desire for everything and
Some
every
pee.
occasion.
And then they light him on fire, and his corpse burns up, and they raise their skies to the heaven. Sure seems like they believe in some things.
They're believing in a lot of things right now.
Now, after that, they're going to head to Omegaville, and they get in their boat to head to Omegaville. And did anyone catch the artistic illusion in this panel here with them getting in their boat? Nobody
Oh,
saw
yeah,
this?
it's
like
the
a-
crossing of the Potomac.
There it is. Well, I think it's the crossing of the Delaware.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, it's the Emmanuel Lights Washington crossing the Delaware. Yeah. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Congratulations on seeing that, Shea. You just earned your MFA.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it took.
Finally.
Yeah.
You get your green frog sticker.
Yeah, you agree. That's same thing. You're masters of frog arts.
Yep.
So
here they're like, we gotta go find the brain because it's probably just still sitting in there.
Yeah, so they start heading out looking for the brain. They're heading towards Omegaville. And then we see that Adam, which is the Golden Brain's body's name, wakes up in his
Joe.
dome. Joe. Yeah, his real name is Joe, but they called him Adam, or they were
No,
maybe
they
just
called
meant-
him Joe.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think they
did
called him,
call
like-
Joe. No, they did. She's right.
Well, okay. Well, I'm referring to the point where they referred to him as like Omegaville's Adam created from clay.
Because,
So
yeah,
they
we
didn't
call
actually
him-
call him Adam, but they likened him to Adam.
Okay,
But yeah,
'cause
you're
the-
right. He's Joe.
Okay, yeah, because the sentence above that says we call him Joe.
We're from Joe. And Joe wakes up. He's looking sad. And he's got a USMC blanket, which suggests to me that, like, the military has sanctioned this thing.
I think they're just using like military, like
Funding.
provisions.
Oh, they went down to the Army Navy?
No, the
Just
army
picked up
don't
some
want to make
blankets?
a sustainable utopia.
Yeah, they don't want no hippie utopia. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. Maybe they just want to do it to see how they can make it not work.
Yes, we just need to know how to ruin this.
We just need to get a lot of data about how this is a bad idea.
Vote and get an electric car, folks. So then the entropists, they wake up Joe and they go to talk to him. And the dude, the heads of the Nixon, the head of the entropists, he says, like, all right, I want you to revert back to a brain. I need you to be a brain again. And Joe rather, starts to melt back down to a glob. But that's as far back as he regresses. He doesn't turn back into a brain.
Yeah, the guy's like, still be a brain, be a brain. And he smashes free.
He refuses
And then
to
he
do it.
says he's not a crook.
He's not a crook. I'm not a brain.
Blob then just starts smashing everything around him. Glob?
He starts,
Blob?
glob. Yeah, he starts destroying everything. And Man-Thing rushes in to save him, and they get in a fight. And, it progresses kind of as you would expect at this point.
Yeah, where clay fights slime. So it's
clay and
just getting
slime.
icky.
It's like Clay Fighter, that bad Super Nintendo game from back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I think that was one of those games I wanted to play, but I never got to.
Yeah, me too. But who knows?
Man-Thing does that, like, the potato pancakes thing where you put one hand in the other hand and then you smash them together.
Yeah,
I don't know what
fatality.
that thing is. Yeah,
He
fatality.
just
yeah.
kills the glob.
Why did you call it potato pancake thing?
That's actually a Homestar Runner thing that I remember hearing. Is they would call it potato pancakes when you put your two hands together and you kind of like raise them above your head on the left and then on the right to celebrate a victory. I don't know why it's called potato pancakes, but that's
I'm
what
glad
I
you're
think
continuing it.
of. Yeah. So anyway,
Keeping it alive.
yeah. Well, it's the main reason I'm doing this show. So. Man-Thing actually has some pretty decent wrestling moves for a monster from the swamp. He does okay. And he ends up ripping the glob apart, which apparently kills him. All right.
The end.
That's pretty much it. And then Yagzin, he runs up to this clay and he's like, I command you to turn back into a monster. And for some reason, the clay surrounds him and he turns hard. He gets super hard and they just leave him there.
Now he is now a giant-sized man-thing.
He is a pretty giant Man-Thing, all things considered. And somebody makes a joke about, it says, one of the late Omegaville citizens, in a moment of morbid humor, comments that the entombed Yagzin resembles the incense burner he owned in his hippie days, but no one laughs, including me. And then Man-Thing
You
sulks
just
away.
laughed while saying it.
I was laughing at the fact that I didn't get the joke.
I got it.
All right. Incense burner? Mm-hmm. All right. And then Man-Thing sulks away to be sad about not having friends anymore.
No.
He almost had a friend.
He just needs to show people that shot of him laying in the water with his arms behind his head.
Yeah. Once those calendars get printed, things are going to change.
That's like a Tinder photo. Do they
Yeah,
still do Tinder? What do they do now?
There's I think there's a whole bunch of them, but nobody. It's all just trolls and bots and Ukrainian scammers and stuff. You can't meet nobody in the world. There ain't nobody to meet.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. Dead internet theory.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
There's nobody there.
That's like, yeah, that's Facebook for sure.
Yeah. All right, so then we get into story 2. And this is called The Ice Monster Cometh. It's a reprint from 1962 from a book called Amazing Adult Fantasy number 11, which is not what it sounds like. It is not.
I mean,
don't bother looking it up. It's not going to be like that.
well, this story is
So
exactly
amazing
like that.
adult stories inside Giant Science Man thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not quite as sexual as we had all hoped. This has credits to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. All right?
All right, now let's talk about this monster coming.
Right. There is a monster coming. And it takes place in, I'm going to guess, Switzerland. It's really not made clear. They just say somewhere in Europe.
All right, so this old guy is like, he's got like some wealth, some jewel box, and some guy hits him in the back of the head, and this guy steals his jewels.
Mm-hmm.
And the police come checking this asshole who no one likes. And he asks him, "Do you have it?" He goes, "What? I don't have anything. What? What?"
like,
And
"Ah,
I guess this
shit."
town is afraid of an ice monster.
Yeah,
And
so this town, these dopey Europeans say someone stole some jewels. It was probably an ice monster and not a man who likes money. Mm-hmm. It had to have been a monster.
he's like, "I don't know. I hear monsters like money too."
The monster's got to eat.
It's like, "You son of a bitch." And he goes, "All right." And then so he leaves town for 9 years.
Does it say 9 years? It says he leaves for a while.
I
don't know, maybe.
Years.
It says, yeah.
So he hears
later.
that the inspector who suspected him of this murder and robbery, like, he died. And he goes, "Well, I'll come back now. No one will remember."
Because apparently the inspector didn't write anything down.
Nope.
Nope.
No newspapers, nothing.
He said, "I know it." He said, "I know what you did. I'm not telling anyone."
I'm not even
All
telling the
right.
people in my police department.
Unfortunately, the place he buried his jewels, it was like a wooded area, and now there's a town over it. And he's like, "Fuck, how am I gonna get my jewels back?" He goes, "I know. I'll scare these bumpkins away with an ice monster costume."
Yeah. So he puts on it's like a Sasquatch costume, but it's white.
Sasquatch, like sassy.
He's a sassy squatch.
Sassy squatch.
Sassy justice. And so he starts terrorizing the town, and this is working out just fine.
Yeah, everyone's running out. He's pounding on doors and chasing them, and they're like, "Just get out
Oh
of
my
here."
goodness!
Oh.
It's the ice monster! Oh no! And they're running, and the ice monster's pounding
Fucking
on
bumpkins.
doors.
These fucking guys. They're wearing
They're idiots.
lederhosen, and they got little Dutch hats.
Everybody run!
It's probably Bavaria then, like
Yeah,
the
they're
Bavarian
running.
Alps.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in that. Yeah, they're scared, so they're running. And this guy's like, "This plan's going great," until a real ice monster
the real
shows
ice
up,
monster.
thinks he's a lady, and then now is trying to fuck him.
We
because
don't know.
His ice monster costume didn't have a dick.
We don't know. Well, first of all, he's covered in fur, so he might, just because he doesn't have a giant-sized man thing doesn't mean he doesn't have a dick under there.
He
No,
gets
look at the other man thing. They make sure to put shadow over his crotch
Oh.
area.
Oh,
Yeah, the
wow.
other ice monster. You can't see his dick. And yet, and the ice monster smells his bussy. Because it's all hot and stinky from being in that costume from him running around town, right? And this ice monster's like, "That smells like some good bussy." And he goes, "Oh my God, it's another ice monster. Now you will keep me company forever."
I think that this is like a prison situation where you may not be gay when you go into prison, but your options are limited and you just become gay. If you're
Yeah,
an
the ice monster, yeah, he's not asking for consent.
You're not
going
gonna
to
get another shot. There's not
He's
gonna
been
be
alone for so long.
There's not going to be another ice monster that fits better. It's going to be this
dude,
guy.
He's going to fuck this guy to death.
And that's it.
In
That's
the
the
giant-sized
story.
man thing comic book, there's a reprint of
Yeah.
adult fantasy stories where a man gets fucked to death by an ice monster.
Oh god.
Stan Lee wrote this.
Yep.
Stan Lee took credit for it. Steve Ditko probably wrote it, but yeah, it's
Dude,
credited to
those
Stan Lee.
dirty gentlemen.
Oh
They were
my
like,
goodness.
"Hey, let's put a ass rape story in this children's comic book."
Oh, that was great. I wish all our stories went so quickly. That one went really, really fast.
It
did.
Well, I bet hopefully the ice monster it goes fast too.
Yeah.
Spare that poor man.
Yeah, wrap this up soon. So then we get into story 3, and this is called "I Was the Invisible Man." It's a reprint from Strange Tales number 67 from 1959. It's got credits to Jack Kirby and Christopher Rule on inks. All right.
Rules.
I know you may be kind of disappointed that so much of this is reprints, but it just goes to show you that having a giant-sized man thing isn't enough sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to fluff it up.
Sometimes you gotta get that little buzzer thing, the little lipstick buzzer guy, and you gotta stick it on there.
A pocket rocket?
Yeah, pocket rocket.
Well, whatever gets the job done.
Sometimes you gotta use that. What do they call it, a bullet?
I think so.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah. Those are good.
She's pretending she doesn't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
You're thinking about the SX47. It's really an improvement of the previous model.
I honestly,
Charges a lot faster.
I don't think I've ever had one that tiny, but I do remember my first vibrator was essentially one of those. And it was I'm going to put in quotations, sweet. I had a friend of mine from high school who was in his first year of college. And since he was over 18, he said there was a porn shop in the college town that they would all go to. And he brought me back a vibrator.
Nice. Well, this was a man.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't think a man knows how to shop for a vibrator.
I mean, I can just look up Google reviews.
I mean,
Yeah, think
I'm
a
sure
man-
it was like the cheapest thing there, but it was still great.
yeah. I think a man's instinct would just get the most grotesquely giant one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she wants. She wants the biggest jackhammer looking one that you can possibly
Yeah,
find.
we're taught that.
Yeah. And that's become reality. Like that was
is now,
something that
and now it's reality. That's right.
there was a time where
It's
it
like
didn't have to
Jesus.
be that way, but then it became that way, and now now everybody's eating ass, and there's this giant jackhammer dicks, and that's all the world is anymore.
That's all it is now.
And then because
That's
of
entropy.
that,
Entropy.
everyone has
We're nice
issues
guys.
with how big their dick is.
Yeah,
Honestly,
all men
yes.
do. All men have issues.
Porn
with-
has absolutely
Yes.
made it so that it is impossible to be happy with the size of your genitals as a man.
It's like them ladies that get them weird cheekbones.
Yeah,
They just
tough.
get a bit bigger and weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, it's just like that. What do they call it? What's that called?
don't know.
That's not bad body image. What is it? What is it?
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah, dysmorphia. You have dick morphia.
Yeah, you got dick morphia. Yeah, your man thing is just fine, everybody.
Dick
It's fine.
Morpheus.
Dick
What's
morphia.
that? Is that an image of Keanu Reeves saying Dick Morpheus?
So in this story, there's this young man who's graduating from college, and his name is Adam Clayton, and I'm assuming that name didn't mean anything to either of you guys, right?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Adam Clayton is the bassist from U2.
Oh, all right. But
whatever-
but he wasn't born yet.
For whatever good that is for any. Well, he's a very old man. He might have been.
No,
All right. Well, I'm not saying it necessarily lends itself to
he
anything.
would have
but
been a
it's just important to
child.
know.
It's
What-
not like
what is
Decker was
his-
like, "Oh, I love that future band."
What is his real name?
Adam Clay? Oh, Adam Clay 2,000 pounds?
Thank you.
That's if anyone's listening to Scott Ackerman and Adam Scott, You Talking U2 to Me podcast, they gave all the members of U2 funny names, and Adam
All
Clayton
right.
is Adam Clay 2,000 pounds. It's extremely silly. Shea hates it.
I
love
want
it.
to change my name to Bill Heck.
Bill Heck. Is that a name we're seeing here?
Nope, just thought of
Okay.
it just now.
All right. Well, there's a Don Heck in comics. So
I know I'm gonna be Bill Heck, and I'm gonna
Okay.
have 6 shooters.
okay.
Mike's reinventing
All
himself as a cowboy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a cowboy now.
I'm gonna be an outlaw going through I'm in
gonna
my
be
cowboy era.
Yeah, I'm gonna be an outlaw now, cowboy outlaw type of guy.
Mamas love outlaw, or was it ladies love outlaws?
Yeah, they do. That song wouldn't lie to me.
Love outlaws.
Yeah, that's a good song.
So
That song is true.
it is
That,
pretty true.
that song is true
They
as
do,
shit.
like they do love bad boys. Let's be
Dude.
clear here. They love bad boys.
I'm a good boy though. Fuck.
I don't know. You're sort of a chaotic neutral, I
I
guess.
took a test recently to just find out what you are, and I'm chaotic neutral. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's about right.
What do you
Just
think I
as-
am?
I don't know. But,
You're lawful good, I guess.
no,
Yeah.
you're chaotic, bro.
chaotic
neutral.
good.
Chaotic neutral.
Who? Shea?
Yeah, Shea.
So you
You
think
too.
you two? Wait,
think
you think
you're
all
chaotic.
three of us?
Yeah, I think we're all chaotic neutral.
No, I'm a good boy. I'm on the good side of
I'm
things.
a good boy. Apparently, I'm chaotic neutral though.
You're not a good boy. You're
the
chaotic
fuck?
neutral. You're the
Fuck
chaotic
you.
neutral boy.
Fuck you.
Well, fuck you. Good boy squad over here. Good boy gang, rise up.
It's just
Got-
James and a bunch of Labradors.
I got that good boy in me. All
Now
right.
it's just James eating a bunch of Labradors.
I
Oh.
would never eat a Labrador.
I got that ice monster in me.
Yeah. All right. So
I
Adam
think he's
Clayton,
like pushing the costume into his ass too, right? Because there's no hole where the
He
ice
may have
monster
cut a
vagina
hole.
would be. That just means that the ice monster is just feeling around through the fabric until it pushes the costume into its ass.
Do you guys think the ice monster's cum tastes like wintergreen or peppermint?
Oh wow,
Ah, dude.
that is definitely gross.
Dude, eggnog. I think it tastes like eggnog.
Oh God!
Oh wow, that's where it comes from.
It's made from ice monster
Well,
cum.
the David Tell joke is that it's elf cum, but yeah, it could definitely be ice monster cum for sure.
Is it good? I've never had.
I don't know that I ever had
eggnog
either.
before. Apparently, you're supposed to have it with alcohol.
It's got I think it is partially alcohol. Like it's an alcoholic drink.
There was an attorney who I where I work
Saul Goodman.
goes big for Christmas. And
Okay.
my first and second year there was a gentleman, an older gentleman, who would go around in the morning and have eggnog and whatever alcohol you wanted in the eggnog. And he'd have a cart and he'd stop by each office and cubicle and he'd make you your drink. It was very sweet. He would put 80% alcohol and then a little bit of eggnog. Like the eggnog was just brown when he gave it to you.
This guy's a
Not
terrorist.
very eggy. I would say though, you made me think of, you mentioned attorneys, and so of course I thought of Saul Goodman, and then I thought if Mike is going to be Bill Heck, I'm going to be Saul Goodboy.
All right.
I'm Saul Goodboy.
Okay.
I'm the good boy.
So this guy, he creates a machine to make stuff. He wants to render it invisible to the human eye, and he thinks to himself, "I'm going to test this on me right away."
Right. It's not really clear I don't think it's very clear what he's trying to accomplish here.
He's being bombarded by countless millions of vibrating particles. The vibrations are making me come.
So,
And
well,
here he
it'll do
comes
that.
right there. See, it like shoots out of him
So
all.
it was shooting right out of the building.
Yep.
Yeah. And he turns invisible and he develops super speed. Don't worry about it. He just does, okay?
He just does. They say he's faster than light, but that's
Impossible.
not what's happening.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He's not faster than light. He wouldn't be
Yeah,
able
they
to-
wouldn't be able to. No one, you.
None of this would work.
That kind of speed, like no one would see him. He would be
Yeah.
moving so fast.
So he runs around and he sees some bank robbers because people were always robbing banks at the time. It was just what was going on.
They do now, right? I guess it's easier now than ever to rob banks.
Well, you just hack into their security
I
system.
mean, like
you
now the
don't
rules
actually-
are just like give them whatever, all the money you have, and then they go away, right? You just go
Yeah,
in there.
but they don't have that much money in the. I mean, they do, but
rather
like
than what you
people-
have, you're robbing a bank. You got nothing.
Yeah, that's fair, but I still think you're better off just hiring a hacker to just like siphon the accounts. Like this is stupid.
Learn to be one. I guess.
Dumb waste of time. So he sees these hackers and these
hackers.
robbers, and he grabs
Two of
their
these guys are
satchel
the
of money.
the same guy.
Yes.
Just they painted his face a darker shade of red.
Yeah, they're fedora men. That's
Dude,
all.
they're like levels of sunburned.
Dude, these guys in a few years are going to form that Entropist cult.
Yeah, this is how it started
This
because
is what pissed them
they're
off.
bank robbers and this invisible Chad stole their booty.
Yes. Ah, shit. I guess we just want the world to end now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end the world.
I heard someone say to me like white men are just like chaotic and they just want to see the world fall apart. I'm like, I'm a white man and I feel that way, so maybe she's right.
Well, I think they were talking about the Joker. He's a white man.
I don't know what she was talking about.
'Cause that's almost literally what they say about the Joker in The Dark Knight. Yeah. Anyway, so the next day, he's reading an article about this invisible man that hijacked this money from these bandits, and he's thinking, as he's smoking his pipe in the lab,
Someone is
by the
probably
way,
that's got DMT in it.
he's saying, I guess, and he's saying, well, I'm going to return this money, but, it is interesting to keep. He says he's going to return the money.
What if I didn't?
He's had the money at least for a day because a newspaper has come out.
He's been counting it this entire time.
He
He's
just
just
keeps
like,
recounting the money.
he goes, I feel I deserve a little bit for getting it back.
A little taste for Adam Clayton.
How did he turn visible again?
I'm guessing it wore off. I don't know.
What?
I don't know, man. It's an 8-page story. I don't know. So eventually he does decide to go. He decides, all right, I'm going to give the money back, but I'm going to use this as part of a scheme. And he doesn't really figure out the scheme, I don't think, but we'll see that in a moment.
I think he's just going to show, he's going to create this guy, the
Right.
buzz around this invisible man, and then he's going to showcase. He's going to be like, "It's me. I did it. No, here's
Okay.
my patent."
I guess, but he doesn't. Because I'm reminded of the Underpants Gnomes from South Park because he's got a 3-part plan, and part 1 is get famous, and part 3 is profit. And he didn't really figure out because he's not, as we'll see, his exploits. He's not a hero and he's not a villain. He's kind of a goofy prankster. Sometimes he does good things, sometimes bad things. Sometimes he's helpful, sometimes he's hurtful. Like I don't understand what he thinks is people are going to see as the Invisible Man as. I don't know. He returns the money to the police. Point is, and he tells them, "Yeah, the Invisible Man dropped it off."
They're like, "Wait a minute, did you take it?"
And he says, "Well, I don't know." And he puts down his
guilty.
fedora.
He like finally flash forward to him in court.
It's clearly
Guilty,
this guy.
and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was a little obvious, man.
I should have stayed an Invisible Man.
And then we see some exploits, and there's a bank safe, like a safe that's going to fall on some people on the sidewalk, which was apparently happening all the time in the 50s.
Back then, pianos.
I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, that's
I
what they
think
did.
it's a very New York thing.
Yeah.
It's a very New York thing.
Yeah. Hey, you're dropping
wouldn't
my
know.
safe.
Hey, I'm walking over here. You're dropping a safe on me.
This is why you have to get safe insurance.
Yeah, you got to have special safe insurance.
Because they're always raising safes up to your building.
Yeah, but then 9/11 happened, and everybody had to get terrorism insurance, and so they had to let their safe insurance policy lapse, and that's why nobody's doing that anymore.
Oh
They
my,
can't
I think
afford to risk it.
Think of all the people on the ground who got hit by all the safes that fell when the towers came down.
Oh man, yeah, one of those
Jesus,
towers.
Mike.
Yeah, floor 14 was mostly just safes. And it just fell on people. It was terrible. It's horrific. So yeah, he goes around town. He's just kind of capering around. Sometimes he helps people. Sometimes he just fucks with them. Like it's
Yeah.
not really sure.
Here he steals the mail and delivers it, which is illegal.
It's illegal, but also very helpful to the mailman.
He's like, all right. Being a mailman's super hard. Like, that's a difficult job.
Yeah, I don't want to be a mailman.
No, that's hard. You need to have a powerful constitution to do that job.
That's
Yeah.
why Cliff Clavin snapped and murdered all those people.
Yep.
In the season
That's
finale.
the last
That is
episode of
literally
Cheers.
why it's called Going Postal, though.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
is
great
really-
movie by Yule Bowl.
Yeah. Isn't it Yui Bowl?
Yule Bowl?
Is it
Yule Bowl? I don't know. But he made a movie
Asshole.
called Postal, and it is insane.
There's a game called Postal too that came out.
It's
in the
based on
It's
that.
based on the game.
It's based on the game.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Okay, I'm sure. I don't know.
I think Dave Foley's in it, too.
He is.
Dave Foley.
Shay, have you seen this movie?
No, but I remember the ads for it.
Oh, dude, it is bonkers.
Dave Foley has a conspiracy podcast, by the way, and it's not that good.
Aw,
I listen-
You
Dang.
only listened
Well,
to one episode.
I listened to like 2 episodes.
Oh.
And it's not that it's a hyper nerd podcast. It's not like a funny podcast. It's just him and his buddy very dryly talking about various documents that they saw on the internet. It's extremely dry. It's extremely like deep. They're not making jokes. They're not being funny. I mean, they're having a good time. Good for them. But it is not a funny podcast.
What if that's the bit?
It's not a bit.
What
I
if
mean,
that's the bit, though, is that they're
Well,
like...
there's no
it's not-
payoff.
Or they're just like... Well, maybe it's just payoff for them.
I guess so.
You mean like the new Joker movie?
Yeah, we saw that the other day.
Ooh, how was it?
Shée took me out on the town and we went to see the Joker movie. Well, it's going to be 2 weeks old by the time you hear this, which means it's out of theaters and it's been removed from the collective consciousness of humanity. It is one of the biggest bombs of all time, it's looking like. Yeah, it's not what we would call a good movie. I don't know, we could do a whole other episode about that. It's not as... I was hoping for a grandiose musical with intense choreography and like they would hire like the best composers and it's not. It's just sort of limp and none of the musical numbers are like big numbers. And so it sort of doesn't do anything. It's a little weird how little it does for a movie that's over 2 hours long. Shée?
Agreed.
It's
And
like,
I wouldn't call it a musical either. I would just call it a movie with some songs that people sing.
I feel like Warner Brothers said to Todd Phillips, listen, just make a sequel. And he goes like, well, if I'm going to get to make a sequel, I want to do anything I want. And they said, sure, you can do anything you want. And it became a game of chicken. And he went, well, I'm going to make it a musical. And they said, well, yeah, go ahead. And he said, I'm gonna. And they said, hey, here's the check. And he said, I'm really going to do it. And he had no interest or desire or competency to make a musical, but just did it anyway. And it doesn't really, I do appreciate that a main goal of the movie is to make Joker super uncool and to take everything that all the incel neckbeard chuds loved about him from the first movie and take all of that away. He doesn't.
What if
have
they
any-
did that? What if that was the deal? It's like, it let people know too much about the chuds.
Yeah.
Like, let's make another movie that changes it.
I do think part of the goal was to say like, oh, you liked this psychopath that you're not supposed to sympathize with at all. We're going to make him completely uncool. He's not going to do anything violent in this movie. He's not going to do anything. He's never in charge of anything. He's just some dude that gets kicked around. He's completely this just harmless nothing of a person. Do you still think he's cool? And they just completely like pop the balloon, which I respect. I respect the idea of like popping the balloon of everything that everybody liked about him for the wrong reasons, but they didn't replace it with anything else. And it just doesn't really go anywhere.
I'll skip it then.
Acting is still great and it looks good visually.
Yeah. You soured the movie.
It's doing really, 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 really badly.
No one goes to the movies anymore.
No, historically badly. Like
movies have to be like spectacular to get. Like no one saw that new Coppola movie either.
Well, that was also a movie he deliberately hired a bunch of anti-woke actors, so it was already gonna have an issue, like breaking through. I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of where they were going with it, but they didn't go hard enough. They didn't seem to have a vision for it, and I'm happy to give him my money. Actually, Shea's money, because Shée treated me. I'm happy to give him Shea's money because nobody takes those crazy swings enough, but I can't say it's good. You know, it's just kind of a bummer. There you go. Killed the mood. Killed the mood for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yep. Happy Halloween. Happy birthday, Hermer Firmer. So, anyway, Invisible Man is running around town. And he jumps into a boxing ring and he knocks a guy out and he fixes a guy's house. He takes the wheels off of some teenager's car so they die.
Yeah, why did he do that?
I don't know what he's doing. Just anything he can think to do.
I think
to get some
they
buzz.
I think because they were speeding.
What if they lose control and crash into a house, killing a kid?
Well, they're on a country road, Shea. Like, there's nobody around. They can take me home. I love it. I don't know. I don't know what his plan. Like, again, I don't understand.
Fixing the house. Fixing the house is what I see when I see it. Like him, like repair, like building the home. Like pounding
Like
the
he's
hammer
on
super
meth?
fast. Yeah.
He just invented meth. This is all this is.
So, like meth, we see now
Yes.
that all this speed, being invisible superpower thing has aged him prematurely.
Right. And he hasn't looked at himself since he started becoming the Invisible Man.
And now he's an old
Oops.
man. And
So
so,
he's an
he
old
decides
man.
to become a hobo.
He decides that, well, I can't continue my research. And he just gives
Why?
up.
All right.
Despite the fact he's still capable of walking around and talking. So he can
Yeah.
continue the research.
This is also why you don't experiment on yourself right away.
Yeah. And or
He's
ever.
like, oh no.
Ah, shit.
This
I
is why
ruined my
those
life.
protocols are there.
Ah, that's my whole life. Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm a man thing now.
And so he walks out the street, almost gets hit by a car. The driver of the car says, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just an idiot." And that's the end of the story.
Just a stupid old man.
And Adam Clayton still hasn't found what he was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for that story.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got one more story that's broken into 2 chapters, and it's called GOOM.
Yep,
the
time
thing
to-
from Planet X.
Time to goom it up.
So this is credited to Stan Lee and his brother Larry Lieber, along with Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers. It's from Tales of Suspense number 15 from 1960. And I want to show you guys the cover of this issue, because if this isn't a Goom, I don't know what is. Look at how goofy. He looks goofy in the story,
Yeah.
for sure.
The entire thing is goofy.
This is really fucking silly. This is super silly. So this guy, Goom, is like a 50-foot tall monster, but he's got tiny little cute eyes and a giant goofy jaw and a bald head.
Mm-hmm.
He is not scary in any way. And as we'll see, he's horribly insecure.
I mean, he's a pink monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's basically called Goon. So I kept thinking like he's gooning it.
He's gooning. Keep gooning, friends.
Maybe gooming is like trying to conquer a planet.
Well, coming very close
For
to
a
conquering
section-
a planet,
yeah.
but then stopping
And stopping to prolong sexual expectation.
to prolong that conquering of that planet.
Yeah. With this giant-sized man thing.
All right, there is a theme. There's a theme I'm seeing now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So there's another young scientist, and this young scientist is being laughed at for his beliefs. He believes there's other planets in the solar system that we haven't seen, and they're like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of our club.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll show you, and he does.
And he drives up to a mountain, and his girlfriend's like, why don't we not do this? It's our honeymoon. And he says, fuck you, I got to be away from the radio and satellite transmissions.
Dude, his debt must have been insane for having to, like, how does he get the money to build himself a radio tower?
Yes. He goes up to...
Who is this man?
I don't
Well, I'm
think
assuming-
it's his. I think it's
Yeah.
just a.
He kicks in the door,
Yeah, he says the observatory. There it
He
is.
Airbnb'd it.
and there's
Yeah.
like there's a
months.
guy who's working at the observatory. Hey, you can't come in here, and he punches him in the face, knocking him down. He's like, oh,
You've been doomed.
stay on the ground.
So he goes in here and he fires up the giant ray and he's like, yeah, I'm going to send signals to other planets. I believe there's one. Where does he say where it is? Somewhere beyond Jupiter. He says beyond Jupiter,
Yeah.
there's another planet, right?
Which made me wonder. I was like, did we not discover anything beyond Jupiter at the point in this comic came out?
I thought we had 1960.
Yeah, probably.
I thought we knew.
Yeah.
We're only a few years away from landing on the moon.
No,
must
we
have known
did
about the other
because
planets.
Pluto was discovered in 1910,
Allegedly.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think we had all
I
of
could
them in
be
there.
wrong. Let's look up when
Was Pluto discovered?
Yeah, when was Pluto discovered? If it's 1910, I'm gonna like expect some praise.
1930.
Fuck.
Well, still pretty good.
Fuck.
Pretty good. Oh, I hate myself so much. I don't even deserve to have friends.
I'm such an idiot.
You're such a goom.
I'm a goom. I'm just gooming it over
I'm gonna
here.
goom over in the corner while the show finishes.
Get in your goom chair. And here we have another comic book with a bird.
Yeah, we've been very heavy with the birds. So yeah, they managed to reach this planet, and this mysterious silhouetted guy says, the fool wants to communicate. He doesn't know the error of his ways. I'm going to jump in my bird plane and go visit him, right?
Yep, and he's just there gooning real hard.
Why is his ship looks like an Earth bird? I don't know.
I don't
but
know.
It does. It's pretty cool, though. It's a nice
It's
design.
cool. Yeah, but look, it's got like turkey legs for like rocket
For its
boosters.
thrusters, yeah.
Yeah, the weird little turkey legs.
Well, that was cool on his planet. As we can see, people look goofy on his planet. So
Yeah,
that
dude.
was
Well, they're a
probably
bunch
cool.
of fucking goomy idiots.
They're about to meet Goom. You're all going to get goomed.
Yeah, you're gonna get goomed in the ass.
And so he shows up, and he's ruminating about how he knew Earth was there, and he's able to get there pretty quickly, but he just assumed it was uninhabited, I guess. All right, because this is like his confirmation that there are people on Earth.
Yep, and he's just like, I'm gonna go there and goom the fuck out of that
He
planet.
shows up and says, "I'm Goom.
I'm goom. I'm really cool on my planet.
What's up, guys? I'm Goom."
See, he's cute.
I'm so glad we could both do the voice.
We're doing the same voice.
I was really
we
happy
saw
with
this
that,
guy
too.
clearly have the same voice for this guy in our heads. And if you haven't seen the video, like imagine what Goom looks like based on those voices, and you're dead on. Goom.
Hi,
he is cute. Guys, planet Earth. I'm from Goom. His planet is also called Goom, by the way.
He looks like a fucking bat hippo, a pink bat hippo.
He is cute, though, Shée. I'll give you.
He is, dude.
cutie.
But he's a
He's a
piece of
cutie.
shit, turns out.
He's a piece-
First of all, he mocks the puny humans. He's like, I come from a planet with more gravity. Your planet's like some pussy shit.
He shows up and he goes, I'm going to take over this planet. And then first, let me show you what I can do. And he starts flying around, and the humans just have to watch him. Like he's peacocking for them.
Yeah,
and they're
he's just
like,
going, look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Okay, all right.
Good job, honey.
He's like, nothing you guys have can counter that cool shit.
So Goom lands, and he announces he's going to conquer everything, right?
Yeah, well, but in what way? And then once he does, like none of this is. He's not thinking any of this through.
It's not clear what his end goal is here.
Dude, he looks like he's gonna get a really bad sunburn.
Yeah, he needs SPF 1000 for sure. He needs
Dude.
Conan O'Brien level sunproof.
You know, a bigger planet, more gravity. I get that. So he's going to be super strong and dense. But they're going to be so far away from the sun.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to have any protection from UV radiation.
It's not there for terribly long. So, we also don't know how his skin cells absorb.
I'm just saying, like, if he evolved this way because of how, oppressive the gravity on his world is, he's also going to not develop any adaptation to UV light.
Yeah, I guess he's not ready for it, but we don't know what he has. He's from the planet Goom.
Yeah, he's just goom. And what if he's covered in a thin layer of goom?
Oh, he's sticky.
Yeah, he's sticky.
Oh, no.
I'm all sticky.
And so the humans run, the dude and his girlfriend.
He's
they
just
run.
constantly lathering up with this.
Well, he's going
stickiness.
away.
He's protruding from one of his holes.
Get back over here.
Fucking rubbing it on his body.
I need you to get on over here.
Oh, it smells horrible. Oh, God.
It's a stinky guy out of his hippo mouth.
He's like, yeah, this is how the stickiness smells.
So that's how kind of ends oddly, but that's the end of the part one.
And then right away, it's Goom Part 2, like immediately.
Goom Part 2.
Goom Part 2.
And now in Goom Part 2, it opens up and he's holding the man and his girlfriend in his hand, and he's yelling, and they're like, ah, shit, we can't get out of this at all.
Dude, Goom is weird as fuck.
And then Goom, he's got him in his hands, and he goes, and he puts him down, and he goes, hey, I was just fucking with you for real, but you gotta work for me, though. You gotta work for me now. You gotta go to that city, you gotta tell everybody that I'm gonna take over, but you gotta tell them I'm a good guy, that I'm not trying to take over first, but I am going to.
Yeah, like, what's his plan here? He's like, he just wants everyone to think he's a good guy, and and they're still like terrified that this is happening. Of course they would be, but then he threatens the man's wife with a neutron ray gun.
He says, yes, he says, he tells the guy, you're gonna go in town, I'm gonna hold your girlfriend over here. If you don't come back with these people, I'm gonna shoot her with this ray gun. And he's got a ray gun.
I will shoot your wife if you don't do this for me.
He shoots a mountain and he evaporates a mountain.
Dude, he's already shown he's super powerful and strong, and he just pulls a gun out of nowhere. I'm sure he has another hole for that.
He's destroyed the regional geology of this area. Like,
dude, he's like a local idiot on planet Goom, and he stole a gun and then came to Earth.
He's super insecure. He needs them to acknowledge how powerful he is constantly.
Dude.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's constantly gooming.
He can't stop gooming.
Dude, he's just gooming the whole time. Real inappropriate.
Yep. Even when you're not supposed to be doing it, which is most of the time.
So here's like, there's a newsboys like, extra, spaceman lands on Earth. He tells everyone he's cool.
And we just believe it because sure.
And here he meets these guys. He meets the leader, the scientist of the world or whatever. And he goes, I was just kidding. I'm actually bad. And he pulls out, a little device.
He's got a little glass.
Human-sized, which means he made this thing to fit people, and all it does is it speeds up the forces of time, or slows it down, or reverses it. And so he turns the president into a baby.
He turns the president into a baby, and it's basically like a phone booth. It's like a phone booth size glass box in his hand.
This is does this something they just make on his home planet, or did he make this?
If you don't do what I say, I'm going to kill all you. I'm going to turn you all to babies, one at a time, because I only got the one.
He's turning them into babies.
I only got one, but I'll get around to doing it all if you don't listen to me, I tell you.
Bro. Now he's now the president, still has his memories of being an adult, and now he's trapped in the body of a baby. He has to wait till he grows up again.
No, he says he brings him back.
Oh, does he bring him back?
Oh. So he's naked
just
now.
fucking reversed.
Now let everyone see your penis now that you're big without your clothes on.
My master plan is to embarrass you because you're a tiny weenie.
Where does it say he turns him back? He doesn't.
Goom calmly reverse the time control.
Oh, it would be horrifying if he just starts turning the world's leaders into babies.
Well, he has to do it one at a time, though. Like, they just have to wait their turn.
Yeah. What if he has to recharge it, like plug it in?
It's going to be a couple days, but you don't go nowhere.
You guys got a USB?
It's 1960, so they don't.
And he's just
Like,
staring
oh,
at,
shit.
he's staring at them with his cross beady eyes, waiting for them to respond, and they don't know what he's saying.
Like, what are you even talking about?
So he finds out Earth is populated, right? And the first thing, so he does two things. One, he learns English. He learns to speak English. And two, he builds a tiny little closet where he like turns people into babies.
Okay. For number one, he doesn't learn English. Everyone everywhere speaks English. Duh.
That's right. American English.
I don't like that.
The universe's language. Shée, did you have a point to number 2?
I didn't say anything about number 2.
All right,
I
well,
was
you
just
did first,
addressing
though.
number 1.
Yeah, Shée never talks about number 2. She loves number 1. Shée likes pee. So,
She likes pee, not poop.
Goom, Shée likes pee, not poop. That's true, everybody.
Why are we going? Why? It's not in this comic.
It's important lore.
Yeah. We're going to make that shirt.
Yes.
Shée likes pee, not
not
poop.
poop. No.
It's true. Don't say it's not true.
No, we're not making that.
Darkseid's couch. Shée likes pee, not poop. So, the next thing Goom does is he decides to lift the entire metropolitan city out of the ground, out of the earth, into the sky for some reason.
And they all asphyxiate.
They would all die immediately.
So
And
he just wipes out a whole city.
well, he would also throw off the gravitational forces of the entire planet. Like, the whole thing is fucked up now.
Dude, this guy's like Goku.
But he puts it down. He keeps doing things and then undoing them.
Oh god! So all the presidents attack him at once. Like they run at him, like we gotta stop him now.
Wait,
and they're trying to stab him with their pencils and pens.
He tells them to. He actually says, "No, you guys all need to come run at me, try to attack me. Do it." And they do it. And they can't. And they have to like humor him, like, "Yeah, Goom, we can't hurt you. I don't know. We got a force field or something." He's like, "You're wrong. I got a force field."
That's how he's not getting sunburned.
Oh, he's got a shield around him, a UV protecting shield.
Now he's going to annihilate the Earth for some reason.
I just wanted to conquer you first, but now they're going to annihilate you.
He's like, yeah, either I'm the emperor of the Earth or there will no longer be an Earth.
Well, they give up immediately.
And so this guy's kind of a well, yeah, of course. This guy's kind of a moron. I'm going to see if there's anybody else there who can deal with this idiot.
What could possibly be worse than this? So
I love how
yeah.
insane his face is as he's trying to contact people before he's caught.
He goes back to his lab and he's like, I know that if I contact the other planet, the planet again, something good will come of this. I know it. Right.
So now everyone thinks that they stop him from. They try to stop him from contacting the other planet because they're afraid more evil people will show up. I guess that's kind of logical, but like you're already screwed.
Well, yeah. Why you're not gonna make it worse?
So they decide they're going to try him as a traitor of humanity. And if this comic book was any better, they would have just shot him and he died, and the comic continued. And then the aliens were like, "We're actually really cool."
Yeah, it's weird how they like take him prisoner. Like, what? You don't have a planet anymore. What are you trying to take him prisoner for?
The firing squad is too good for you, you piece of shit.
So then we see some planes arrive from planet Goom, and they notice they're not shaped like birds.
No.
Or they kind of are. They're kind of like bats, but they're not.
No, that guy had a crazy turkey ship.
Yes. And so it lands, and 3 more Gooms come out, and they're like, "Hey, guys."
No, they all talk like normal Goom as well.
Oh, do they? I thought they just maybe talk like humans.
No, they all talk like this. They all
okay.
do.
Yeah, and they're saying like, "Well, what's going on? Did you guys seen Goom over here?" And one of the humans goes, "Yeah, it was this piece of shit. He called everybody. It's all fucked up now."
And they like, "Oh my god, he doesn't even have any clothes on." One of them talks normally.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, one of them.
Only one of them does.
Well,
Only
he's the diplomat,
and they never acknowledge it.
Yes. What do you mean? He talks perfectly normal.
Yeah, he's perfectly normal, dude. But so like they drag him away for being naked. That's what they're really upset about. Not that he like endangered humans.
Yeah,
they're like, look, he's naked. We can't have that.
We don't want this guy walking around with all those bits and berries all hanging out.
Now everyone knows in the universe what it looks like.
You embarrassing planet Goom all over the solar system.
Everyone knows what Goom penis, the Goom giant-sized man thing,
the giant-sized Goom thing.
The main law on Goom is you don't show people what your little Goomer looks like, and you wouldn't do it all over the country and all over the solar system.
He's like, "I'm free, finally," and he's just shaking it around.
And so
what a weird dude.
They just leave. They grab Goom and they get out of there.
They don't fix any of the things he did. All the presidents are still babies.
And nobody apologizes to this guy for calling the good Gooms.
Nope.
And they say, like, well, how'd you know? How'd you know they wouldn't be evil, too? And he's like, yeah, well, only frightened, scared, weak people would hurt anybody for power. Like, an advanced civilization's gonna have good intentions. So this guy must have been an anomaly, and he was.
Mm-hmm. That's reasonable logic.
No, it's not.
Unless you're like a insect species.
Here's what I think his real logic is. What'd we have to fucking lose?
Yeah.
Right.
Goom was killing us. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Might as well try
Turn
something.
people into babies.
And then it says, our destiny that we'll eventually reach is in the stars. And then we see next issue, Beware the Son of Goom.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It didn't work out. He got laid.
You think Goom impregnated one of the humans?
Goom got laid. Those incel entropists couldn't, but Goom
Ice
did.
monster style.
Yes. Oh, man. Maybe Goom was the other ice monster wearing a costume as well.
Yeah, he was a real ice monster all along.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that ended. Mm-hmm. What do we think?
This is my favorite book we've ever done.
Didn't you say that last
He said
episode?
it many times.
No, this is the best book we've ever done. I loved this. This was so insane. Every story was crazier than the next one.
No.
It ended with fucking Goom.
Goom was pretty great. Jack Kirby's finest creation. Shée, what did you think of this book?
I enjoyed it. I
Yeah?
like Steve Gerber.
Yeah, me too.
Steve Gerby baby.
Yeah, we're Gerber babies.
I liked it very much. I don't know. I liked it more talking through it. The main story was great. The backups were decent enough. I enjoyed them more now upon this rereading, but I still think they maybe dragged down the overall quality of the first book just a little bit. So I give it 4 out of 5 Heat Deaths of the Universe. There it goes. I assumed that could only happen once, but apparently it can happen up to 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Hermer Firmer.
Yeah, happy birthday, Hermer Firmer. His birthday present to himself was a birthday gift to us all.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Truly.
So in a way, wasn't it really my birthday?
No. That's no. Not at all. Not at all. So, we got to talk about next time. Because next time's another special episode. They're all special episodes. Next time, as we hinted to earlier, is our final episode before the election. So we're going to do something election-y, but we don't quite know what yet. Mm-hmm. And what we had on deck for a long time was this book that Mike found that I maintain is garbage, but we'll see if it comes up. It's called Your Vote is Vital from 1952, something like that maybe. I think maybe I have written down somewhere. 1952. And it's a pretty funny cover, I'll give you that. It's a bunch of simps trying to impress this woman who likes to vote by pretending like they like to vote too.
Yeah, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't like voting at all. They'll just put in cards that say vote.
They're just waiting for her to turn around and they take out hers.
Yeah,
yeah. I admit it's a pretty funny cover, but I don't know if this is going to work out. But hey, whatever. And if we do this one, if this is what comes up, it'll be a book starting with the letter Y, and we'll complete our alphabet. We will have done a book with every letter of the alphabet, and the curse will be lifted. Mm-hmm. We can finally stop. Mm-hmm. But we always like to spin the wheel to determine it. And when we have a situation like this where we have a heavy favorite, we'll throw on something else, something bad, to potentially screw up everything. And Mike picked a couple books that honestly look better than Your Vote is Vital. So I'm not sure that we're thinking about this the same way, but Mike picked Action Comics, Superman in Action Comics Annual number 3 from 1991, where Superman attempts to become president. This looks great. I don't know why this would be a downgrade at all. And the other book is Wonder Woman issue 7 from 1943, something like that, where Wonder Woman attempts to become president. Also probably great. Mm-hmm. So these aren't bad options. Mm-mm. So there's no risk involved as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's just fun.
That's fun times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and so, I guess this is our time to tell people if you're going to get registered, now's the time to do it. And just let's not do funny votes this time. Let's just not. I don't want to do a funny vote anymore. I just don't want to hear from.
Dude. They're all trolly and funny.
I just don't want to. Can we not do the trolly votes anymore?
Everyone you're going to vote for is a troll vote. It's just brutal.
Vote for George Washington. I don't know, man. I guess it's it's the time. Do your duty. You can go be an election watcher. I tried. I signed up to do some election volunteering and
Rig the election.
I signed to be an illegal elector. No, and I just got caught in a web of a bunch of emails with people trying to figure out when they were going to have a Zoom to talk about what they were going to do. And I'm like, dude, are you actually going to do anything? It's been weeks of just like, how about Tuesday at 2? How about Friday at 7? Like, I don't think you actually have a plan of what you're actually asking me to do. And so I don't think I'm involved, unfortunately. But you could be. Your volunteerism is vital.
Oh, that sounds great, James. I'm so glad those are the people who are in charge of the votes.
Yeah, listen. It's a country of our peers. All right,
Yeah,
we're getting what we deserve. We get what we fucking deserve.
When Antarctica thaws, I'm gonna move there.
Yeah, as David Tell once said, I'll quote him again. Maybe there's some cool shit underneath all that ice. You know, we don't know. So, we always need to spin to a song, some spinning music. And we've actually got a pretty appropriate wheel song for election times. It's Acid King. It's called Two Wheel Nation. Listen to this. Digging it. You know something? We do all live in a two-wheel nation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had to turn the comments off on that one.
Oh,
for some
too
reason.
controversial.
Too controversial. Jesus Christ, people. Get your act together. All right.
What comments are on?
Well, we're a one-wheel nation here at Darkseid's Couch.
You can feel about acid any which way you want.
Yeah. So, all right. Everybody ready to spin this wheel and see what's happening? Mm-hmm. All right. Here we go. It might not be Your Vote is Vital after all this time. No, it's totally going to be Your Vote is Vital.
Oh,
all right.
That was close, though.
Fairly close. There we go.
All right, finally.
So the votes are in.
The alphabet.
Did it.
The votes are in. Your Vote is Vital from 1952. It appears to be just some sort of like government promotional comic. I don't see any credits on there telling you where it's from, which was not uncommon, but I think this may have just been something that the government put out. I don't know. Look at this. There's a farmer. There's like a hick farmer there too.
Oh, yeah, that's a girl.
And his vote is disproportionately influential. Because that's how the Electoral College works.
I mean, he makes the food.
No, that is something that's true. That is like the main thing that I can, as much as I dislike the current Electoral College system, that is the one thing I can say is like, yeah, if you do one man, one vote, then everybody in New York, Chicago, and LA are going to determine what happens in the country, and they're not thinking about the farmers. So it does matter. But it is funny to poke fun at them. Come on. Yokels. All right, that's going to come up next time. Go get registered.
He's so sad. I'm sorry.
Who is?
You could have squeaked the wheel a little bit and added other stuff, I guess. I'm looking forward to Your Vote is Vital.
No. I do think it'll be funny, but I think we're gonna have a hard time sustaining a full episode based on the content of this.
I think I can figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I mean, we've talked for extended periods of time about some pretty dumb shit, so we'll see.
Yes, we have.
All right. Was there any other business I wanted to attend to? I don't know. I think we got everything.
That was it. That was
Shée?
happy birthday, Hermer Firmer.
I want to plug up this giant-sized man thing.
Yeah.
My cloaca.
So follow Darkseid's Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube. Follow Santa Hules on Twitch to get our stuff because Darkseid's Couch is a backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a backup. It's all on darkside'scouch.com. It's just that that's just sort of like a dummy website that just pulls in the episodes.
No, I have a Twitch page, Darkseid's Couch, but yes, it's the backup account for whenever I get banned.
Thank you.
Oh,
yes.
Great.
Okay.
That's the kind of show we're running.
Okay. Sometimes I get banned and I have to use a backup channel.
Oh,
It
great.
happens.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
A lot of Instagram pages have to do that too.
Yeah, it's just
Your Instagram is vital.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you follow all of those things to see us.
Yeah, or hear us as it is primarily an audio medium. But you know, whatever. I don't care if you see me. I look good.
Yeah.
Like John Cena.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
John Cena is the only one who doesn't want you seeing him. All right. that's going to do it. Anybody got any final thoughts they want to add?
I'm probably not going to vote, Shée.
Well, I guess we'll get into the weeds on that next time. Shée?
Please vote, people.
All right. Ta-ta for now, Cushion Crusaders, and happy Halloween, and happy birthday, Hermer Firmer, and maybe go vote if you want to.
When nature takes over,
With a big old dick.
one town must face the unimaginable.
A spleef the size of a baby arm, just looking for someone who wants to smoke it. Let's get some smoke going in this place, right?
Marvel presents
You ain't gonna like it none.
Man Thing.